What's up, my people? It's your host, Wray, and it's another episode of the Wray Show. Today, I have a special guest. He goes by the name of Travis Wallace, and he's here to bring some important information. Another one of my inspiring friends. How you doing today, Travis?
Good, man. How about yourself? Appreciate you having me, man.
I'm good. Thanks for coming on. It's very important to, I know you have a message, and I would like to get that out. Give a little bit of spotlight to you. As some people don't know, you've been on this 6 year journey of your transformation, basically. So I just wanted to shine a little bit of light on it. So Travis, I want to start off with saying congratulations on being hired as the new head men's basketball strength and conditioning coach at University of Alabama, Birmingham. That's right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Awesome. So how have you started that job yet? How's the experience been so far?
So I actually start the July 1st will be my official start date. But as far as moving and everything like that, I've been knocking that out. Obviously going to the office, trying to build relationships before the actual start date. And so I haven't technically started, but I've met some of the guys because I believe that relationships take you pretty far in life. So I try to build those as much as possible before I get rolling.
Most definitely. I think from my aspect as a coach, I enjoy the relationship part, building with parents, the other coaches, and the players more than I do the actual job. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but that's just what I enjoy. So
Sure.
You'll start that at July 1st. So prior to that, you were employed at Florida Gulf Coast. How did that happen? And what was that experience like for you?
So, I mean, first of all, the way the world works is such a small world. And everybody knows everybody, believe it or not. And as we talk on this, people that are listening, especially if you're an athlete, the people that you encounter can help you out 5-6 years down the line, So especially when I deal with athletes now and they may have attitude issues, and I kind of explain to them, the people you're having an attitude issue with, it's your coach or whatever it may be, academic advisor, this is the person who's going to help you down the line and probably get you a job. So it's hard for them to see. So before I got Florida Gulf Coast, I was living in Toronto, Kyle Lowry's personal trainer. And long story short, the GM of the 905, which is the Raptors G League team, we became really, really close. And so I actually started living with him on my way out, because for one, Toronto's freezing. Toronto's one of the coldest places in the world. So it wasn't really, my type of situation. And the traveling was a lot, and I just missed being around kids. I missed the impact that you could possibly have on them. So anyways, I spoke to him, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm probably going to go back to college next year. And he worked with an assistant coach that is on the Florida Gulf Coast staff in the Dominican Republic for a national team. So when they talked, he spoke to hey, you guys need a strength coach? And he's like, actually, we do. And that is exactly how I got to Florida Gulf Coast. Now, I also played in the same conference as Florida Gulf Coast, so the staff knew who I was in situations like that, which helped. But like I said, it was a he. He knew somebody, the other person knew somebody, and that's how I got here.
Awesome, man. Did you enjoy your time there at FGCU?
I enjoyed it, man. I think that was like a pinpoint and a turning point in my career. I got to work with men's and women's basketball. Learned a ton from especially women's basketball, because I've never, really had the opportunity to have as much of an impact on a team like that. And obviously the guys, I was able to really, really be a mentor, and exactly why I came to college was that reason. And I was able to fulfill that.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So you just mentioned that you were the personal trainer for Kyle Lowry. For all of you who don't know, point guard for NBA champion Toronto Raptors last year. How was that experience?
Experience is unbelievable. So what we do now is every offseason I still train them. So I didn't just leave Toronto as far as, this is it. I just wanted to be around, college, that type of atmosphere. So every offseason we meet up. Like last year we were in Vegas. Depending on the situation, you know, in his location, in my location, we'll meet up somewhere. He'll come to me or I'll come to him. But the experience was amazing, man, because when people dream to work in the NBA, people dream to see that type of stuff. And, you know, you chase goals in life. And I was 25 when I actually was his personal trainer full time. And when I got to the NBA, I realized that, you know, this is great, but this is not exactly what I want to do. And it was amazing that I got to kind of figure it out and kind of look at different stuff. But the experience was amazing. Traveled probably pretty much every NBA arena. Met a lot of great people. When you talk about agents, when you're talking about GMs and things like that, I had an opportunity to build relationships, and that'll last a long time. So he's an unbelievable guy. If he wasn't, I still wouldn't be working with him now. But yeah, it was an unbelievable experience, and it meant the world to me.
And I'm sure those same relationships you cater and build through the NBA, you'll continue to
oh, for sure,
along the way. And who knows where you'll be next.
There you go.
So my question is, you got a taste of the NBA life, taste of the high school level, taste of collegiate level. What is your ultimate goal as a strength and conditioning coach?
So the ultimate goal as a strength and conditioning coach would be and I'm kind of building and getting really, really close to it, but I'm big on location. So even though Birmingham is not the ideal location for guys to come into the off season, but it's a stepping stone to where I need to get to. So my idea of the end goal is working at a school with a great location where NBA players, NFL players, MLB players come in their off-season training and do theirs. So it would be technically seeming like a little factory of having a school that provides that opportunity and allows me to do that. It's not so much of, you know, working with pros how I am, but it's more of touching as many people as I can touch. And I love to impact people. I do believe I told somebody this earlier. I said, I find it crazy how people, you know, have so much knowledge or, you know, have so much talent and they don't share it. They don't hand it down to somebody. Because at the end of the day, when we die, if there's nobody that we touched and we didn't pass it on to somebody, it's irrelevant. Like, it's over. So it's not necessarily I want to train professional athletes. If I could train high school, but that would also obviously be an NCAA violation at the time because I'm in a college atmosphere. I would do it, but I can't. So it would be more of, okay, I have my guys, I have my team. We go through the season like a regular strength coach would, and then in the summer when those guys are, you know, in their off season, they have a place that they can come to. They have a place where they can bring their family and stay on vacation for 1 to 2 months and prepare for the next season. So that's the ultimate goal. I'm working towards it, but I'm glad you said that because I do believe that you have to have a vision of what you're shooting for, and sometimes you will have to make decisions that may not line up when you look at it, but you have to understand it's a stepping stone. For example, like Florida Gulf Coast, yes, it's in South Florida, so it's like why would you leave South Florida? But sometimes you have to advance at like a UAB and things of that nature to eventually get exactly what would be beneficial for you.
And I don't think some people don't realize that UAB is in a bigger conference than FGCU. Like people remember, I don't know how long ago that was, 4 or 5 years ago with Dunk City and all that stuff. I realized that UAB, what is it, the Sun Belt?
That's Conference USA now.
Conference USA.
Yeah.
So they're in Conference USA. So they're getting professional level players consistently playing against those type of guys. So it's going to be different relationships that you'll potentially build and potentially link with certain athletes and coaches. So I think that's a great jump for you.
Appreciate that.
I'm here supporting from afar. Like, as I said, you inspired me a whole lot. So going into how you inspired me, so you started your what would we call it, your fitness journey. You started your fitness journey about 5 years ago. And my story is you posted a video, you were working Magic Johnson's basketball camp. And it showed you like scoring a layup from one of his passes. And I looked and I'm like, Travis, his neck is getting slimmer. But I hadn't seen you since you had left UNF
Mhm.
And I never thought you were in like bad shape. So I'm like,
Mhm.
why is he getting skinny? And then over time, you started showing pictures and videos and whatnot, and it's like he's transforming his body. So
Mhm.
from that moment, it inspired me, and then I started working out. I went from like 190 to I think 165 pounds or something. I had abs for the first time, so that meant a lot. So
Mhm.
what inspired you to change the way you were working out? Because you didn't have like a bad body
Mhm.
from the start. So what was it?
So a lot of people don't know this story. I'm gonna share it with you, man. You're about to get some juicy stuff. So when I left North Florida, I went overseas for a little bit. I went to Slovakia first, and I went to Finland after that. Then I went back home, didn't work out. And a lot of like these athletes go through now, they don't know what's next because they didn't prepare for anything. I was lucky that I played for Coach Driscoll, who was an unbelievable guy, an unbelievable, coach in the whole, in the whole grand scheme of things. So he prepared me to the best as possible. But as an athlete, you gotta think about, you've been doing something for 18, 17 years since you were 5. Now all of a sudden you graduate, you go play overseas, it doesn't work out. You come back home. Now what? And so I moved back home with my mom, obviously, and I was just like, I have no idea what I'm about to do in life. Like, I didn't prepare for this moment. I was supposed to go play overseas for 10 to 12 years and then become a basketball trainer. I don't know. You know how it goes. So we all think we have this picture, and when it doesn't work out, if you're not prepared for that, you're in some deep stuff. So I came home, was working at Home Depot. No disrespect, but that's just not something I want to do. And I actually was helping out at a high school as a high school basketball coach. But in my free time, I would go to the weight room. Like, I would go to like little LA, I would go to LA Fitness or Fitness 24, wherever it may be. And just to clear my mind, just to do something to like make me feel like, I don't know, I'm having some type of success. And because it was that borderline depression type of situation, because the Home Depot I actually was working at, it was the local Home Depot of my hometown. So people were like, Travis, I bet you were overseas, or like, why aren't you playing anymore? And when you're 22, 23, that's a hard question to answer when it didn't work out. So I just started going to the weight room and things like that, and all my problems, literally, and I tell people guys about this now, were left at the doormat. So when you walk into my weight room, hey, leave that stuff right there. You come in here, nothing matters. You have a big test or whatever it may be. For this hour, focus on yourself, lock in on yourself. And that's what I did. And I started seeing transformation in my body, but most importantly, mental. Like, became clear headed. I understand. I said, okay, now what do I want to do? And that is what started to my next step of my journey. And my fitness journey is not only about my body, what it does to me mentally and discipline in life, is why I started. And that's kind of the backstory of how it all happened.
That's dope, man. I didn't know that whole backstory. I was just going off of what I saw on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a heck of a journey, and it's something that's still going on, and it's led into your professional life.
Mm-hmm.
So before getting into your professional life, professional
Mm-hmm.
career, you did play collegiate basketball you started at FAMU and then you
Mm-hmm.
went to UNF. So as a high school student, what went into the process of choosing FAMU, and then
Mm-hmm.
what made you transfer to UNF?
Okay, so I graduated young, so let's start with that.
Mhm.
So my senior year, it's another story a lot of people don't know. My senior year, when I graduated, I'm 17. So my junior year happens, play well, average like 18, 11, or whatever it may be. And I had 2 offers. I had South Carolina State as a junior, and I had FAMU. And I go on a visit. I take my South Carolina State visit, okay, and FAMU brings me on homecoming. That speaks for itself. Now, I'm 16 years old on this visit now. My senior year hasn't started. I'm 16. And I'm at homecoming, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, this is homecoming FAMU's finest, And I was also playing in a region and at home with my region where I had Glenn Rice Jr., who was already committed to Georgia Tech, Ryan Harrell, who was committed to North Carolina State at the time, Lorenzo Brown, who ended up playing at NC State, a couple other guys. One guy went to Wake Forest, Ari Stewart went to Wake Forest, and Richard Howell actually went to, can't remember, I think with NC State as well. And so I'm playing against these guys, and I'm holding my own. So I'm like, they're committing early, not realizing they're committing to ACC and schools like that. But I was like, hey, man, I'm a Division I player. So when I commit to FAMU, and I actually signed early. So then my senior year comes. Now I'm averaging 24 and 13, and I'm like, whoa, what did I just do? So I'm talking to my high school coach. I'm like, is there anything I can do to get out? And he's like, well, you can call, you can try to get out the LOI, but they don't have to let you out. And I called, and wasn't happening. Wasn't going for it. Told me the junior college route. That was my only way out. And I was like, I can't do that to myself, So I actually went to FAMU for a year knowing that I'm probably going to transfer. So led the team in field goal percentage as a freshman. Had a decent time, met some great people. End of the year, I transfer, and I have no Division I offers when I transfer. So I go to a junior college. I visited a junior college called Blinn Community College, where Cam Newton and Chris Anderson Berman actually went. And then I visited another junior college in what was that junior? Colby, Kansas. So I commit to the one in Colby, but the assistant coach at Blinn says, hey, listen, he calls me and says, listen, you don't have to go JUCO. I'll find a spot for you. And I'm like, and the thing about it, I turned them down, and he's going to help me. And he says, back to what I spoke about earlier, this world's so small. He said, I think I got a guy in North Florida, who's looking for somebody like you. That's how I call. He calls North Florida. I'm signed to this junior college. Calls North Florida. Next thing I know, a couple of weeks, I'm on a visit, and then I signed there, and the rest was history.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
Story's crazy, boss.
You got a lot of stories hidden in you. So you go to the UNF. You play your final 3 years there.
Yep.
You and my close friend Chuck end up when y'all graduate. Y'all end up being the all-time winningest class.
Yep.
So what was that experience like at UNF?
UNF was a interesting place because, like I said, the guy we played for, the lessons that he taught us, at the time you don't understand what he's telling you, and now as I get older, I get it. I'm telling you, man, we had to lift with our shirts tucked in. Like that doesn't even sound politically correct. Like you would do an exercise and you'd be like, yo, tuck your shirt in, and in your head you're like, yo, I just did some pull-ups. Like, all right, I got you. I'm breaking a rule right now, but I know he would understand for my brand. You're not supposed to wear any hats in the building. But you're supposed to shout out to the brand. So that's the only reason I have this hat on right now. But there were so many things that we had to do that you didn't understand. Like we couldn't curse. It was push-ups if you curse. In situations like that. So long story short, more than basketball was great. I met some amazing people. Man, I played with some guys and I'm still friends to this day. But I think the things that he taught us has allowed me to be successful in my career. It has allowed me to understand how to move, how to present myself. Now, if I'm going on an interview, I don't even think, do I tuck my shirt in? Do I do this? Do I wear my earrings? Do I not? If I'm on an interview, he taught me the way, to allow myself to walk into certain doors that I probably not would have been able to walk in if it wasn't for him.
Oh, man. And the things you learned from him, you and I talked about this earlier. What have you applied to the athletes that you work with, like the collegiate athletes? What have you applied from what you learned from Coach Driscoll?
So, like I said, some of the things that, like I said, like, I don't do the tucked in shirts. I mean, I think that's pretty difficult to do. But one big thing that I have done that I took from him is no phones when we're eating. So I do mandatory breakfast, which he also did. I do mandatory breakfast Monday through Friday, and you there's no phones allowed. And this allows guys to actually interact with their teammates. If you don't do no phones, they're going to come there. Everybody's going to scroll on IG early in the morning, Twitter, whatever it may be, maybe a little Snapchat here and there. But what we allowed was put the phones away, look somebody in the eye, and discuss and talk about whatever it may be. And you're teaching these guys confidence to look somebody in the eye and talk to them. So that was a big thing that I took from him. And another thing I took from him was the saying goes, treat everybody fair, but not everybody has to be treated equal. So we're all going to get treated fair, but, depending on certain situations and, whatever it may be, there could be different consequences for certain things. And I finally understood that, so like I have certain guys when running them doesn't do anything to them. They can run a marathon if they want to. So figure out something else. So, that they may not like just in order to stop them doing from whatever they did. So things like that. And he was kind of like a no nonsense, can't be late type of guy. And I actually do 5 minutes early to everything I do. I tell my guys, be 5 minutes. If wait, start at 12, you'll be here at 11:55. And that carries on in life when they go for an interview and things like that. They understand, hopefully you show up a little earlier than 5 minutes, but you're not walking in at 1:58, 1:59, I like to tell my guys, if you ever take an interview and you're sitting there 10, 15 minutes for the interview, kind of looking at your notes, and if somebody sees that, yeah, that guy's locked in. That guy's locked in right now, and then you have a better shot of trying to get whatever you're trying to get.
That's awesome, man. I think a lot of, like you said, when you were at UNF and coach did things the way he did it and you didn't understand it, I think the same thing will happen with the athletes that you're training and have under your tutelage. They'll realize it in the long run. So after UNF, you graduated. As you already said, you went to go play pro ball, and you coached for a little bit in high school. VCU. What happened at VCU? How did you get at VCU?
So you're gonna laugh again. So I called Driscoll. One day I get off of work and I'm like, I gotta get back in athletics. I have to figure something out. So I called Driscoll and I say, Coach, what do I have to do to get back in? I'll be a GA somewhere. I do whatever you need me to do. I just have to get back in. And my mindset was just like, if I get 2 years to go to school and get a master's degree, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to stay in athletics, but it just gives me time to breathe. Because right now I'm drowning. Right now, the life is just coming at me and I have no answer for it. So he calls Jeremy Shyatt, who was at Wyoming at the time. So guys are looking for a GA. So I fly out to Wyoming and, I put on my own dime and things like that just to see what it was like. And he told me, you can be the GA only if one of our players don't want to do it. That would be our only, we got to respect our players. They want to be a GA. We'll do that. So I stayed out in Wyoming. It was freezing. When I get home, Driscoll calls me and he's like, listen, I think one of my guys is about to get the VCU job. And I said, okay. This guy named Will Wade. And Will Wade was a manager at Clemson 20 years ago because Driscoll put him on to be a manager. So he calls Will Wade and he says, you have any GAs? And VCU has 6 GAs. They allow 6. Ever since that Final Four run, man, they just, so it's a big time play. So long story short, ended up being the GA at VCU. Now, my first year as a GA at VCU, I'm a basketball GA. I'm cutting up film. I'm participating in practice, whatever it may be. And one day Will Wade comes to me and he says, you ever thought about being a strength and conditioning coach? Like, you will really advance in that field. And I'm like, no, I coach. I just like to wake up early and lift weights. I mean, I like to, I like to do that stuff. He's like, it's something to think about. So I said, okay, I think about it. I said, you know what? Why not? So my second year, he allows me, I become a strength and conditioning GA. Now, it's all under basketball, but I'm not my supervisor is whoever the head strength coach is, and I'm under him. Shout out to Greg Golden. He's actually at LSU now with Will Wade. So I'm his GA now. So now I'm working in the weight room, learning, trying to get certified and things like that. How about this story? So Wade, now I'm a strength and conditioning GA, and Wade calls me in his office, and I'm like, "What's up, coach?" He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really think you can be successful in this field, but one thing may hinder you." And I'm like, "What's up, coach?" And at this time, I had tattoos. Like I was sleeved up. You know, I had tattoos all the way down to my wrist. And he said, "I would hire you, but I can't guarantee you that other people will because of your tattoos." So I say, okay. He says, "I'll give you an option. If you want to remove them, I'll remove them for you." So leave. Now this is I leave, and and I call him. I get a quote on it, and the quote was like 3,800. And I'm scared to tell him 3,800, not realizing, the guy makes $3 million a year. But still, man, like I'm about to tell this guy 3,800 to remove my tattoos, something that I did. So I call him, like, "Coach, they told me the price and it was 3,800. "Oh, cool. You want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I went through a whole process. It took about 16 months of laser removal for my tattoos, which I got that done. So, and now obviously my elbows and my forearms are clean, and I can wear a shirt if I feel like, I want to cover my tattoos, I can do that. And that was a big thing that happened and during that time. So a lot of stuff happened, great experience, but those were two things. And Will Wade's he's a big part in how I've been successful, and he's still helpful for me. And that's a big part of how I got here.
So with the tattoo removal, did you have any type of scarring or anything?
Man, they did an unbelievable job, man. I have nothing, man. Like if you can look, like you can't, there's no scars on my arm. They said it actually had something to do with my skin. Like I just been blessed with, I guess some great skin, and it allows to know I don't have one scar. Like when I tell people, they're like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." I'm like, "No, I used to have sleeves, and I have to show a picture and things like that." I can actually, I don't know if you can do that on here, but I can send you a picture and maybe you can pop it up and kind of, so people actually believe it. But yeah, so I had I had sleeves and things like that. But on a professional standpoint, it helped me. But as it being a GA, you're 20, you're 22, 23, and you have to be able to direct guys in a certain direction and motivate guys and coach guys, and you're their age as well. So it's difficult, but it allows you to advance and understand how to really communicate with guys. Because I was on scout team, so I'm playing with these guys, but at the same time, at 6 a.m., I was a part of their reason. Like, "Yo, you're running. I'm doing all that to them." So I really learned how to have, two sides, and it really, really helps me now because my guys understand I'm not your friend. Like we're not friends, but I am a mentor. I am somebody who's going to help you. I'm always going to have your back and things like that. And I think VCU taught me that the most because I was their age trying to do those things.
That's dope. You got it. You got the lessons in early, and now you can apply them. And you're still young at that.
Sure, man.
So
I'm getting up there, but I think I'm good right now.
Well, somebody told me we're not old until we hit around like 40. That's when you're like a grown man for real.
I just heard that. I just heard that 2 weeks ago. I was like, man, 2 years, I'm 30, man. He said, "No, you're not. You won't until you're 40. Then call me." And I said, "All right, well, that makes me feel a little better."
Yeah, that made me feel real good because I got like a year before I hit 30. So
yeah,
that made me feel good. So before you get out of here, I do want to touch on your brand, Treat Saturday Like a Tuesday.
Sure.
Where did that slogan come from, and what is it all about?
So working out one day on a Saturday, just working out a typical day. And I like to kind of post a picture on my Instagram of whatever I'm doing. And like you said, it's to inspire, it's to motivate people. I've gotten so many messages about like, I wasn't going to do anything today and I seen you doing this and here I am. But I would like take a picture and I just a caption. It was a simple caption now. I wrote treat Saturday like a Tuesday. Just nothing of it. So next Saturday, take another picture. Treat Saturday like a Tuesday. So then like the third Saturday, people are tagging me and writing treat Saturday like a Tuesday. Like, yo, Trap, treat Saturday like a Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever. So long story short, my mom comes to visit me at Florida Gulf Coast, and she's like, I had a dream that you're just supposed to be like branding something. You're supposed to be doing something. And I'm like, Mom, I don't know I'm a strength coach. I don't really know, what else you want me to do. And I was like, you know what? I said, I've been saying treat Saturday like a Tuesday. And like, people have really been like feeding off of it. And she's like, we got to do something with it. And when I really, really noticed I need to do something, I have a guy that I interned with at UCF. He's in Spain. He lives in Barcelona. He actually flew to UCF for 2 months just to intern. When he tagged it in Barcelona, I said, okay, it just kind of rung a bell. Like, this is something, as much as you want to impact and you want to do all that stuff, Travis, this is a vehicle that you can use. So went through the whole trademarking of it and created a website and just started creating clothes and things like that. But the biggest thing that I enjoy about it, one, when I'm done working out, I can still treat Saturday like a Tuesday. Two, it's not all about working out. Like, people, when I first started, I was like, I don't want people to think it's just a fitness thing. And the other day I wrote on my Instagram and my Twitter, I said, whether you're preparing for a test or you're aspiring to be an athlete, when you have a treat Saturday like a Tuesday mentality, you have a better chance of success. It's simple. Like, there's no secret behind it. And people always ask me, so why Tuesday? I love to break this down. People say, why is it a Tuesday? So Monday, I'm going to say we all, I enjoy every day. A lot of people hate Mondays. Oh, the Monday, the weekend, I was enjoying the weekend, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Wednesday, I'm going to skip to Wednesday first. So Wednesday, it's hump day. Everybody's thinking like, I just get over this hump. I just get over Wednesday. I'm good. Like, the weekend's right there. I'm coasting. I'm going down. Thursday, obviously, it's like, tomorrow's Friday. Like, that's all I got to do. I just got to skate by. Friday's here. I personally feel, and I didn't think about this when I said treat Saturday like a Tuesday. I personally feel if I had to break down all those days like it did, Tuesday's the only day where you can't say, it's hump day, let me just get over this hump. It's the day where you got to put your hard hat on and say, listen, I got to face this head on. I have to. I'm not going to hate it like I hated Monday. The week's already started. I already know that. Tuesday's a day where we all look at it and say, all right, man, it's mano y mano right here, man. We're going to go 24 rounds throughout this whole day and get to it. And like I said, I initially didn't think like that, but once I made the slogan, I had to figure out a reason why I said Tuesday. Why did Tuesday come out of my heart? Why did Tuesday come out of my mouth? And that's the day that I feel like there's no shortcuts. You have to face head on. So whatever you do on that Tuesday where you're studying, you're getting them extra shots. If it's for you, like you're doing this, you're great, you're kind of a podcast and videos. Instead of just saying Saturday, I'm gonna kick my feet up. Let me continue to learn about this stuff if I'm you. Let me get some, maybe I can squeeze in an extra guest. Maybe I can, edit this and all of a sudden, his graph, whatever it may be, rather than, I'm just going to take the day off. And I think that's what advances people to the next level, because of working with guys like Kyle Lowry in the NBA and seeing those guys, they never thought of the slogan treat Saturday like a Tuesday, but they're there because there's no secret. They're there because they put more time into certain things. Well, a lot of people would just kick their feet up and say, let's relax.
So my people, treat Saturday like a Tuesday.
You heard it here first.
I'm halfway doing that. I do it sometimes. I don't always do it, but I can honestly say we all come up short in some areas in our life. But
you're right about that.
For real. So you heard it here first. Treat Saturday like a Tuesday. Hopefully, y'all can go on this website. You have a website, right?
Yeah, it's treatslat.com. So treat TreatSlat.com. Instagram is @treatslat. And obviously anything you need, you can find it there. And go from there. And I appreciate, like I said, this thing is not even like I want money from it. Like, it has nothing to do with that. I love the inspiring and the motivation that it brings to people. And that's what I enjoy. I enjoy when people change their lives or change the way of thinking and change the way of whatever it may be to advance and put in more time into what they want. Because last thing I'm going to say is whatever we do in life, most things, our window of trying to get there is very, very small. And we spend a lot of time as humans focused on things that will be there forever. So whether it's social media, sitting on there all day, whether it's alcohol, whether it's the club, whether it's girls for guys or guys for girls, or however, you live your life, they ain't going nowhere. And that window of whatever you're trying to be, a lawyer, NBA player, that window is small. So let's make sure that we're putting in that time on those days to enjoy that and try to get to where we want to. And trust me, I was always told everything that a lot of people want, cars and clothes, it ain't going anywhere. It's going to be there. Especially, you're going to have even a better resource to it when you get to where you want to get to.
Exactly. Well said, my friend. So everybody out there, go order a shirt. Push that movement.
Yes, sir.
Plan to get me a shirt or two.
Appreciate you, man.
Also, if you're ever in Alabama or seeing a team who plays against UAB, you'll see him on the sideline for the men's games. But Travis, thank you for coming on. It means a lot. And that's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, peace.
Look, I'm just trying to set the record straight. If this a fight, then I'm a heavyweight. Super light, I'm in the darkest place. Suit and tie me in a coffin cake.